not know, the great boxers have just left the ring. First off, sorry man, the undefeated Southpaw sensation, the WBO International Heavyweight Champion, Moses Itauma. And of course, I said a man with the red traditional wear. He is the former British Cruiserweight Champion, former Commonwealth Cruiserweight Champion, former WBO Cruiserweight Champion, and currently the WBC Silver Heavyweight Champion, Lawrence the Sauce Okolie. And he also saw another Nigerian heavyweight who is fighting out of London, England, former British heavyweight champion, former international heavyweight champion of WBO, and former EBU, European Boxing Union heavyweight champion, David Big D Adeleye. Just to add the fact that we have the dignitaries in the house, Coordinating Minister of the Economy and Minister of Finance, Honorable Wale Edun. The Lagos State Governor is in the house. It doesn't come bigger than this. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing, I'm sure it's the very first time he's watching live boxing at this very stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Got the chairman of the National Sports Commission also here, Mr. Shehu Diko. Moving on to the next bout of the evening. And this is the next title bout. We have right here the WBA Africa Heavyweight Championship. Now the boxers will make their ring walk. First to fight out of the blue corner. Help me make welcome, fighting out of Lagos, Nigeria, Idris Affini. And he's opening to fight out of the red corner. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Emmanuel Odiase. And this is for the WBA Africa Heavyweight Championship. Brought to you by Bambora Group Promotions, led by Dr. Ezekiel Adamu. Sanctioned by the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control, led by Dr. Rafiu Oladipo. Ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce the stewards for the bout. Your gloves master is Oladipo Babalola. Your ring marshal is Adewale Abe. The timekeepers, Titilopo Gunkunle and Prince Ade Olofin. Your ring doctors are Dr. Tajuddin Sule, Dr. Chike Ilukwe. Your treasurer for the bout is Kayode Gomez. Your supervisor for this bout is Mr. Remy Abodering. And of course, right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take the national anthem of Nigeria. Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Lord, tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians home and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This is the co-main event of the evening. Introducing the judges scoring this bout at the bell. George Oluwaseyi Ajao, George Tayo Olaifa, and George Maruf Akombi. The supervisor for the bout is Remy Aboderi. And now the fighters are in the ring. They are ready. The officials are ready. Fight fans, are you ready? And now introducing the fighters fighting out of the blue corner. Fighting out of Lagos, Nigeria. In blue and white trunks. Ladies and gentlemen, he comes in with a career record of 29 bouts, 18 wins, and 9 losses. 15 of his wins coming by way of knockouts. He is a former national cruiserweight champion of Nigeria. A former WBO Africa title challenger. Introducing the one, the only, Idris Affini. And his opponent across the ring, clad in white, fighting out of the red corner. Fighting out of Wolverhampton, England, by way of Heidelberg, Germany, and by way of Edo State, Nigeria. He weighs 268.6 pounds with a career record, perfect career record of 8 fights, 8 wins, 7 of his 8 wins coming by way of knockouts. Introducing the reigning Germany International Heavyweight Champion, ladies and gentlemen, fighting for the first time in his fatherland. Introducing the giant man, he stands at 6 feet 8 inches tall, Emmanuel Odiase. Referee Sheyi will now give his instructions to the fighters.
Let's get ready to rumble, they say, and chaos in the ring gets more chaotic. Okay. Tail of the tape. 8 wins.
Good evening, boxers.
No loss, no draw.
I want a clean fight from both of you.
Of course, weighed in at 268.6 pounds. Up against Affini, 18 wins, 9 losses, 2 draws, 219.2 pounds. That's a brave man stepping into the ring with the man they call the Giant.
Yep, it certainly is. We're only moments away from this first belt. Emmanuel Odiase comes with an impressive 8-0 record, 7 of those by the way of KO. This kid is improving all the time. He says he's going to make a statement here tonight. Let's see.
And you just have to look at his limbs and you look at his reach.
Look at the size of Odiase already as they come to the center of the ring. Odiase working behind the jab, loading up with that left hook as well. But huge man he is. And that is very visible here. And this is going to be a tough night for Affini.
It's going to be a tough. That's why I said he's a brave man coming up against someone like this, because Affini himself, a big man, but make to look like he's just a small man right now in terms of size and height, because he's going to have to try fight on the inside, and this fight could be over before we know it.
Yeah, big clubbing shots to the back of the head there, and I tell you what,
just couldn't take that power.
No, pushed over there, but Affini was starting to sway like a willow tree in the wind there. You saw him going from side to side. The referee has actually given him a count, has probably done him a favour.
He wasn't too happy with that count. He felt he was, just like you said, he felt he was actually shoved a bit because with the power of Odiase there. But let's see how it is. But those jabs are very stiff and they're coming really thick and fast from Odiase.
Yep, Denzel Bensley was with us tonight. I'm going to have to ask you, Denzel, Affini, what does he have to do here? Can he do anything? And before I even give you a chance there to come in, a huge left hook, and I don't think he's going to beat the count.
He's done well to get up, but he's going straight down if the ref don't call this off, sorry. I think the ref needs to call this off. There's no point of him continuing. It's not safe. He's going to go back over and it can end up being more devastating than it needs to be.
He wants to continue. But he's not throwing punches. That's the funny thing about it.
That's the gladiator in him. Of course he wants to continue. He rolls over on his side. The referee now waves it off. For me, like Denzel Bentley, I think he was allowed to continue after that second knockdown and he shouldn't have been. And he is all over the place. Idris Affini, who's got that experience, been in with some good fighters, like I say, lost to Ike Ikabushi last time out. That was a third round KO. That was here in Nigeria. But what a statement there from the German, Emmanuel Odiase. He's gone out there and done an absolute demolition job. Great setup there. He just took his time, calculated, shot selection was brilliant, and yet very impressive.
He's definitely happy about it. Sorry, Denzel. Very happy about his performance, and he made it look like it was just a work in the gym.
He made it look easier than the work in the gym, to be honest. But I mean, the extra punishment wasn't needed. I mean, the referee could have just called it off. I know, you know, Affini is a tough man and he wanted to continue, but just because he wanted to doesn't mean he had to. You know what I'm saying? But listen, the fight's been done now. Congratulations to Odiase, and I'd like to see him move forward and see how far he can go. Yeah,
absolutely. And I don't know whether you guys saw it as well. He had the physique of and the stance of Tyson Fury. I'm starting to understand why. You know, exactly the same way posture that Tyson Fury puts up. You know, one leg in front, the other one in back, and then throws those jabs and then hits you with the big one. And that's exactly what he did all through this fight. And I think he found it so difficult to even try and actually reciprocate any of those punches because those jabs were coming thick and fast and they didn't give him any breather at all.
The thing is that a lot of heavyweights are big and muscular and tough, so when they're throwing jabs, they're all power shots. He flicked his, so coming at a different speed, a lot faster than he's used to. But I think the hooks done him. The hooks were killing him. The left hooks to the head.
And that's the shove I saw there. And I still think it was a shove.
I think that was a slight push, like we saw earlier in one of the fights. But at the end of the day, them shots at the top of the head. I mean,
and that one did the job.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been allowed to continue after that one, to be honest.
Yeah, that was a big knockdown, landed high on the temple, and yeah, he was in big trouble there, was Affini. But keep your eye out for this guy, Emmanuel Odiase. He is going to be a big star of the future. And there we saw the knockout punch, left hook, high to the head, very impressive. And Affini was never going to beat the count. Referee doing the right thing, stopping it. Could have stopped it earlier, but still stopped when it was. And yeah, very impressive. Odiase, for me, has all the ingredients to take you to the top, and I like him as well. I like his work ethic, I like his focus, the way he learns in the gym, traveling around, sparring all the best names. That's how you learn, that's how that's where you gain all that experience, and that's paying now. That's what's coming to fruition right now.
Anyways, something was just playing in my head when you were talking, but we're going to go back to the ring right now to get the official announcement of this bout. And coming up right after this, the main event of the night, All-American main event.
Yep, can't wait for that
Brandon Glanton up against Marcus Brown. You cannot afford to miss it. We're going back to Ralph Chidiozzi George right in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bout was scheduled for 8 rounds, but it came to an end at exactly 1 minute and 41 seconds of round number 1. And we have your winner by knockout and new WBA Africa Heavyweight Champion. Give it up for Emmanuel Odiase. And the belt will be presented by the Governor of Lagos State, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu.
Interesting stuff there. The man who's always been in support of youth development and boxing as well. Interestingly, this is my first time I've actually seen him at a boxing event talking about the Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu.
Listen, I think that Easy has done a big job. You know, Balmoral promotions have done a big job, you know, getting the governor behind this, getting the support of the governor, getting the support of the president, you know, is going to be brilliant because it creates tourism, it brings people in. You know, I've come here for the first time, Nigeria, I've absolutely loved it. You hear stories that it's a dangerous place and you can't go out without certain things. It's an absolute lie. You know, I think that it's a fantastic place, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm glad that the government are now getting behind boxing.
Yeah, the good thing about it, like you said, the man on the screen there with the spectacles is actually the chairman of the National Sports Commission, which I think it's like the Ministry of Sports in the UK here, because it used to be the Ministry of Sports before, but they had to change it before because they wanted to be more grassroots oriented. Now, you know, went back to Sports Commission, which is what it is right now. Mr. Shehu Diko, and they've got quite a lot of other people in there as well. They've got the Supervising Minister for Economy and Finance, who was the lady that actually decorated Taiwo Agbaje for his title the other time as well. So brilliant stuff. It's good to see government back the private sector, and that's the only way things can happen. What the government can do is provide the infrastructure for the private guys to be able to use, and then of course they're the ones who bring the money, and of course the partnership from abroad. And we also have to say a big one in somebody that believes in Nigerian and African boxers. I'm talking about the legendary Amir Khan. I mean, his American Foundation, you know, supporting Balmoral Productions to ensure that not only Balmoral Productions, they were also in Ghana, just like you guys said a few months ago. And this is how happening. If this continues at this level, it's just a matter of time before we start seeing so many champions. And we go back to the days of them, Azuma Nelson, Bazooka Korte, and a host of other boxers as well, you know, coming out of Africa.
Absolutely, and a great guy. You know, and I had the pleasure of meeting his son, who I didn't know.
You know what? We should exchange our lives.
Oh, absolutely.
You're meeting too many people.
Listen, no, and
met Joshua, met Korte, met Azuma Nelson.
All of those guys, and the late great Alfred Cote. Alfred Cote is where I learnt my boxing career. I'd just come back from the Commonwealth Games, and I just picked up the medal out in the Commonwealth Games, and they said, listen, we got a bantamweight kid over here, he's a world champion, come and spar him. Henry Cooper gym up in the Old Kent Road. I went, yeah, no problem, I'm coming in there, all big-headed, I've just medalled at the Commonwealth Games, I'm the man, aren't I? I go in there, Alfred Cote's there, put me in my place, took me to school, whatever you want to call it, hit me with a left hook, hit me with a right hook, it sent a shiver down my legs. I was doing the Elvis Presley dance, they were just shaking, and I was just like, wow, this is what it's all about. That's what champions are all about. Alfred Cote was a great young fighter, and what I'm saying is that, you know, boxing coming back here now to Africa, whether it's Ghana, whether it's Nigeria, is only fantastic for the sport, and I'm so pleased the government is behind it.
Denzel, like we said it as well. Okay, wait, let's go back to the interview in the ring with Charlotte Darling.
Opportunity arises, you take it. Were you expecting the opportunity to arise so early this evening?
Like I said, I feel like I'm never looking for a knockout because I learned that you can never chase knockdowns, you can never chase knockouts, but obviously I knew I got the power. I'm very confident in my power. I know that any man that steps in the ring with me, if I land clean, he's gonna stumble, you know? So I see him falling down, and it's like a shock. I smell blood, and I go for the kill.
Look, that's 8 knockouts now for you. You are becoming the knockout artist. Is there a pressure on your shoulders now every time you get into the ring that you have to deliver a knockout?
Nah, like I said, man, I'm a boxer first and foremost. So I'm looking to put on a good show, put on a good performance, and for me, it's just about boxing. I want to show skills. That's what we work on in the gym with Joby Clayton, and skills pay the bills. So at the end of the day, if it's a point decision or if it's a knockout, I really don't mind. All I care is about getting that win.
We heard your team ringside shouting that you are the future of the heavyweight division. We have another man sat ringside who is also being called the future of the heavyweight division, Moses Atama. Can we settle the debate now? Who is the future of the heavyweight division?
I feel like Moses is a great fighter, and we all going in on our own time. So I don't think it makes any sense to start up the conversation right now, but in a few years down the line, we might see each other in the ring and we do something big for the people. That's what it's about. It's all for the fans. We do this for the fans. Without the fans, the sport wouldn't exist. So I'm going to stay on my path. I'm focusing on myself. I know that I'm going to be a world champion with God's grace. And if Moses does it, then we can meet one day.
Thank you very much and congratulations. Look, the moment we've all been waiting for, the main event is coming up soon. But first, we're going to hear from the hype man, Jerry Sheffer.